Drop that gate.
Jet Lawrence, he's got the drive. He puts the weight on the rear wheel. Good grip. Now the question is, can he slow down? It's going to come from the inside, boys. It looks like Jorge Prado, the 111, all the way from Spain. He's an MXG champion, two-time MX2 champion in Europe, and here he is living his dream in Supercross. Justin Brayton, we talked about this in qualifying. This guy's dream was to be here. He got, I think, what in the main? 13th place in the main last week. But this is a modern, and he is used to adverse conditions like he races in Europe.
He has it, and earlier we talked about his starts. I mentioned earlier on Race Day Live how he's one of the best starters in the world. Well, he just proved it there. He's out front. He's used to these conditions. And remember, folks, this is only his second Supercross ever. Mad props to Jorge Prado, MXGP World Champion. It's a pleasure to have him over here. He's out leading right now.
You know, one of the things about Jorge Prado last week, he was with the 450 feet group, and he found it difficult to get by some of those guys who got a good qualifying time. When you go to the MXGP, they have like an hour to qualify. He can go out at 42 minutes and try to put down a fast one. A lot faster pace than he was expecting with qualifying. Don't forget that number one is right behind him, the reigning champ for Supercross. He won the championship in 23, reigning champ for 24, Chase Sexton. Not too far, but behind Jorge Prado. So he'll come into view in just a little bit. The number one on the Red Bull Gas, brand new ride for Chase Sexton. Remember, on the Honda all last year, won the championship for him, made the switch, and now he'll be going after Jorge Prado. There's about a 4.8 second gap between the two. That's first and second last time we checked.
Yeah, this is interesting. Sexton coming up on Prado. You've also got Jet Lawrence in third and Ken Roxon in fourth. It's going to be interesting to see Jet, see if he can kind of close that gap on Sexton. But I will tell you right now, Dan, Sexton is closing in on Jorge Prado.
Yeah, he's moving closer and closer, ever bit by bit. Now talk about Chase Sexton. We know Jorge Europe where they deal with a lot of rain and muddy conditions. What about Chase Sexton?
Well, Chase grew up in Illinois, so he has a little bit of experience with this. And I'll tell you, earlier we talked about attitude. Chase has got one of the best attitudes there is in this sport. So I look for Chase to have a great night tonight. But right now, he's just trying to stay straight, get around that lapper, and he's trying to close that gap on Jorge Prado. And it looks like he's doing a pretty good job of it. And he's also, if you think about behind him, he has no pressure. He's pulled away from Jet Lawrence.
Yeah, he's doing good. It was a 4.7 second gap. Lurch, what are you seeing down there? JP, I've got a question for you. A lot of body language, upper body moving left and right. They're trying to get the traction on the ground. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to set up the line in front of them? They're just trying to get through the one that they're in.
Well, they're really just trying to get through the one that they're in and try to pick the right one. There's so many different lines on each one of these takeoffs. And the hard part is you're trying to get the traction you want, but you're not trying to over jump the jump. You're just trying to clear it just enough, but you don't know how much traction you're going to get. You don't know if it's slippery underneath. You don't know if you're going to get some traction. So that's the most difficult part right now. And you can see all these guys are Jet's down in the whoops. Down in the whoops.
The whoop section, he slides out mid-whoops. It's going to be hard to extricate himself. He actually did that pretty efficiently, and now he's going to enter back on the track, losing a spot. I think Ken Roxon was behind him. So the number 94, keep an eye out for him. Was Ken able to get by? That's the question. Justin, you can see that roll-off system. That's already dangling. Vision could be a problem for the 18 coming up.
Absolutely. You can see the roll-off's already dangling off the back. But vision is going to be an issue, especially if he throws his goggles. You can see the replay up there on the big screen. Just kind of loses his balance, goes off the track, hits a tough block, down he goes, no arm, no foul. But this is what I'm talking about. If you dump the bike like that, now your gloves are wet, now your grip is wet, so you're going to have a really, really difficult time hanging on. And Lurch, to your point, his roll-off system has malfunctioned, so now is he going to catch roost off the back of the 94 bike of Kenny Roxon and lose his vision to where he's going to have to throw his goggles? Pay attention to that.
You know, we've seen him manage races, going 90% to 95% to make up ground or make that separation. Right now, he could hold steady and put himself in a position where he's not dealing with that roost. Hey, here comes Eli Tomac now, the number 3, going after the number 18. They're coming around the berm towards that double. We'll see what they can do before they get to the whoop section. But Eli Tomac looks like he has a goal here of getting around the 18 of Jet Lawrence. Can he do it? Here we go for the whoops again.
And in the mud like this, you want to try to eliminate the stop and go so much. So you see Eli Tomac right now, he's just trying to keep his forward momentum going through the whoops. He's trying to stay on the balls of his feet, standing up. And if you can just keep your forward momentum going just constantly without that stop and go, that's what it's going to be all about. And that's what Jorge Prado and Chase Sexton are doing out front. You're not going to see them stopping and going too much. You're going to see this just a constant forward momentum. That's what you want to do.
Hey, keep in mind the 51 of Justin Barsha last week checked back in 11th place. So he's got to make up some time if he wants to avoid the last chance qualifier. Here comes Chase Sexton getting ever closer on the big screen. The SMX champion, Jet Lawrence, with that 18 and the red plate. We got a lapper right here.
The lapper goes down right in front of Sexton, and it actually held him up a little bit, held up Jorge Prado as well, allowed Chase Sexton to close the gap. Then he held up Chase Sexton, so kind of fair game right there. Dan, it's not the lapper's fault. He's just trying to take his line, stay straight, and I'm really curious about Jet Lawrence right now. His roll-off system is totally malfunctioning. He's right on the wheels of the 94 in Ken Roxon, so he's got to have basically zero to no vision at this point.
And we saw this before in Rutherford, East New Jersey, when he went ahead and took off his goggles completely. So we'll see if he can solve this problem. Right now he's keeping them on. You see him come off. More trouble for the 18 and the whoops. Getting a little bit sideways. ET3 looking to take advantage of that.
But if you're Eli, you're distracted by his roll-off system. Look at the 18. He's got that. Oh, Jet's down. Jet's down. He hit a tough block. Tomac's by.
Goggles are gone. He's blown those. It might be a demo. It looks like that film is wrapped up in that front fender. He does get screen clear. Can he get up and stay in the top 9? That is a question for Jet Lawrence, your SMX champ. Let's go back to the front of the race. It's the last lap. And the number 1, your reigning champ, Chase Sexton, qualified second, is going after Jorge Prado. Here comes a replay of Jet going down. Take us through it, JB.
Yeah, looks like everything's good here. Oh, he just kind of touched the front, and then it darts him straight left. There was probably some sort of rut underneath that he couldn't see. Took him right off the track into a tough block. Down he goes. Not a hard crash. He's going to be fine from that. And then he threw his goggles to Lurch's point. No more goggles. He's got direct vision.
Oh! Again, more lap issues. Sorry, JB, going through the whoops. Both the 111 of Jorge Prado, the Spaniard, and Chase Sexton, a little bit of trouble. Chase Sexton will gain a little bit of ground, but Jorge Prado and Chase Sexton putting on a clinic for the rest of the 450 pros out here. Looks like Kenny Roxon have a little bit of trouble, I believe, with his goggles as well. Jorge Prado, MXGP champion, 23 years old, 38 total GP wins. Can he get the checkered flag? He does!
What a ride from Jorge. We talked about his starts earlier. That set the tone for his whole race. Congratulations, Jorge Prado. Amazing ride.
Fantastic. Coming all the way from Spain. His dream to race supercross. And now, attached to that dream is a heat win. We'll be right